A couple who allegedly kept their 13 kids starved and shackled in their house of horrors have pleaded not guilty to torture and abuse charges. David Allen Turpin, 57, and Louise Anna Turpin, 49, were arrested after the siblings, aged between 2 and 29, were found at the family home in Perris, California. Dressed all in black with their hands and legs shackled, the pair appeared calm as they submitted not guilty pleas to 12 counts of torture, 12 of false imprisonment, 6 of child abuse and 6 of abuse of a dependent adult, before a packed courtroom. David Turpin was also charged with performing a lewd act on a child under age 14. Each faces 94 years to life in prison if convicted on the more than 24 charges that include torture, child abuse, dependent adult abuse and false imprisonment. Judge Michael Donner ordered each defendant to remain held on $12 million bail and set the next hearing in the case for February 23. The torture and false imprisonment charges, dating back to 2010, when the couple moved from outside Fort Worth, Texas, to Riverside County, do not include the 2-year-old. Riverside County District Attorney Mike Hestrin, who announced the charges at a press conference ahead of their court appearance, said, "What started out as neglect became severe, pervasive, prolonged child abuse." He told reporters the 17-year-old girl, who managed to escape and alert police on Sunday, had plotted to escape with her siblings for 2 years and that another girl, who escaped with her out the window, had turned back in fear. Mr. Hestrin did not say what finally triggered the teen girl to act. Louise Turpin laughed as she spoke with her attorney at the hearing on Thursday. He said the children were deprived of food, while the parents ate well, and even taunted them by letting them see apple and pumpkin pies they weren't allowed to have. The children's malnutrition was allegedly so severe that it had stunted growth and led to cognitive impairment and nerve damage, with the oldest child a 29-year-old woman weighing just under 6 stone, 37 kilograms. The prosecutors said the children had been chained to their beds for months at a time and were forbidden from showering more than once a year or using the toilet. Some of the 13 children had been isolated so long they did not know what a police officer was. There was no indication that either suffered from mental illness, Perris Police Chief Greg Fellows said, or that the children's ordeal was linked to the family's religious beliefs. Initial investigations have confirmed that the couple were the biological parents of all 13 siblings. It comes as a law enforcement official with knowledge of the case also told NBC News the rooms inside the brown-and-beige 4-bedroom house were filled with urine. The broadcaster also reported that the kids are now receiving antibiotics, vitamins and nutrients, and doctors are concerned about them going into shock from being malnourished. What we know so far, meanwhile, the grandparents of 13 starved children say their son's family looked happy and healthy when they last visited California 6 years ago. And they had such good relationships. I'm not just saying this stuff. These kids, we were amazed. They were sweetie this and sweetie that to each other. The 17-year-old daughter who raised the alarm told cops she was terrified they would kill her if she got caught. She climbed out of a window to alert police of her and her 12 siblings' dire plight and was so malnourished, cops told a press conference, she physically appears more like a 10-year-old. Riverside County Sheriff's Capt. Greg Fellows said the conditions were horrific. If you can imagine being 17 years old and appearing to be a 10-year-old, being chained to a bed, being malnourished, and injuries associated with that, I would call that torture. It was reported earlier that children were only fed once a day and could only take 2 showers a year. According to the Mirror, the starving teen was in fear for her life when she finally broke free and alerted the police. She snuck out of a window of the unassuming family home at around 6 a.m. on Sunday, fleeing to safety before using the deactivated phone she took from the house to call 911. The conditions inside were said to be horrific, with the victims given little access to food or water. Neighbors have told how they would rarely see the children, with one claiming to have been unaware there were any living at the house. Police say Louise was perplexed about why authorities had arrived at their home. Mr. Turpin's parents, James and Betty, who live in West Virginia, added that their son and his wife are deeply religious and believed God had called on them to keep conceiving. They told ABC News the children were given very strict homeschooling, but thought when they visited they seemed like a happy family. We pay for your stories. Do you have a story for the Sun online news team? Email us at tips@thesun.